Genesis chapter 8, verses 18 and 19. And in these two verses, we'll see that just as Noah had obeyed God's command in prior chapters, so also do Noah and his family do the same. Prior verses, God had told them to leave the boat, take all the animals with them, and that's what we'll see here in these verses. Let's read it. Ke exelthen Noe, kai he gune altu, kai he hoi huioi altu, kai he gunaikes ton huion altu met altu. And we'll finish it up here in a few minutes. The active verb here is exelthen, which is from ex erchomai, just a nice third singular aorist active indicative. Subject here is Noah. And Noah exited, or he departed, he went out, if you will, from ex erchomai. But he's joined with Hegune, so his wife and his sons, huioi altu, and the wives of his sons met altu. So basically, you have the sort of compound subject there with him, the altu referring back to Noah. And just for fun, the Masoretic is ito here, which is kind of interesting, but translated here with met altu mean the same thing, but just thought I'd point that out. So everyone leaves the boat, at least the humans, but let's press on. Who else goes with them? Kai panta ta theria, kai panta ta katene, kai pan patenon, kai pan herpaton, kenumenon epites ges, kata genos alton, exelthoson ek tes kibotu. Once again, we'll notice that we have this massive compound subject. You got all these animals. The main verb is going to come here in a minute. But let's begin with the different categories. So we have all, and notice you have panta here, panta, pan. So repetition of pas there. So that's all. Then theria is the plural of therion. That's going to be the beast. We've seen that numerous times. Beast plural here, singular in the lexical form, of course. So that's kind of the wild animals. And then we have panta ta katene, and that's from katenas. These are going to be the domesticated animals, typically the livestock and so forth. But also pan patenon, these are going to be this is going to be every bird. Kind of interesting that you pivot from plural to singular here. That's fine. And every herpaton, this is going to be something like the crawling creatures or perhaps reptiles. One way you could take that. It doesn't necessarily only include reptiles. Then we have a nice participle here from kineo, and it's modifying this herpaton here. So it's a nominative singular neuter, present middle participle, and that means to move about or something like that. So it's all this sort of creepy crawlers that are creepy crawling upon the earth, epites ges. Notice that all these animals are kata genos alton, or afton, and in the Masoretic, that's going to be lemishpachotehem, big compound word there. That means something like according to their families, mishpachot there. And instead, in the Greek, we have kata genos. Now, we've seen this before. Genesis 1:11, when God created all things, they are kata genos according to their kind. Genesis 6:20 and 7:14. So that's in the flood narrative here with Noah. Same thing. And so it's a pretty good rendering of the Hebrew. It's slightly distinct. Of course, we get genus, genus and species from genos there, as opposed to families or clans or something like that. But the basic sense is still clear. What's really beautiful about this is that as they come out of the ark and all of these animals are according to their kind or according to their genus, if you will, it's a reminder of the original creation event and God's provision. He is now repopulating the earth with all these different types of animals. It also reminds us of who went on the boat originally, earlier in Genesis 6 and 7. So it's a good little callback there to that particular phrase. Then we finally get to our main verb, because this, of course, was a participle exelthoson, which is also from ex erchomai. We saw that in the prior look at verse 18. But notice the morphology here. This sometimes happens. You would expect it to be an on, because with the ex erchomai, it's going to change its root form. Typically, you're going to borrow the imperfect ending, but not always. In this case, they're sticking with, my guess is probably some scribes don't do this, but the critical editions go with the traditional aorist ending, the san ending, tacked onto the exeltha here. And so you do sometimes see that where they will pivot and use the quote-unquote first endings, even though technically this is a second aorist form. So they exited or departed from the ark, ektes kibotu. So now everybody is off and running after leaving the ark on dry land.